Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Jai.
Dharmamaharirukshisho Dharmam aha rirukshisho Dharmamaharirukshisho Tava sandarsana deva Tava sandarsana deva Chinname sarva samsaya Yatsvayam Bhagavan Pritya Dharmam aha rirakshisho. Mataji's. Tava, your Sandarsanat, by sight, Eva, only, Chinna, resolved, me, my, Sarvasamsayaha, all doubts, yet, in as much as, Swayam, personally, Bhagavan, your Lordship, Pritya, lovingly, Dharmam, duty, Aha, explained, Hirakshishoho, of a king anxious to protect his subjects. Translation. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you, for your Lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Purport. By His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Manu described herewith the result of seeing a great saintly person. Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person and achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnupad Sri Śrimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on first sight he requested this humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it. And by his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. Thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person completely engaged in transcendental duties and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. Hare Krishna. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly persons and try to disassociate oneself from the common man, because by one word of a saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because of his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. Hare Krishna. मज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च. श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पश्चात दिशतारणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोन्दनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं सतीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. I neither have any qualification nor do I have any realization. So I seek blessings of all of you, especially His Holiness Chandrasekhar Swami Maharaj and sometimes my names don't come. Ram Rai Prabhu. I seek the blessings of Ram Rai Prabhu and Chandrasekhar Maharaj. I seek. तव संदर्शनादेव चिन्नामे सर्वसंशयाः यत् स्वयं भगवान् प्रीत्या धर्मम् आहार रिरक्षुषो. So things will happen not in our way, but things will happen according to Krishna's grace actually. So Kardamuni prayed to Lord Vishnu and he said on 5th day, on this particular day, they will come and you will have the marriage. Can you imagine if you materially calculate Kardamuni, he was in the remote forest and Swayambhu Manu was in a palatial mansion in a big city. How it works? How it worked actually? The super soul. So a person, if he thinks he's the doer, I'm like that actually. So very, very, very little or no result will come actually. But if we think Krishna is the doer, I'm only his puppet and he's the puppeteer, or my guru is the puppeteer, I'm the puppet in the hands of Guru and Krishna, then we go very far, irrespective of what happens in the material world. It's very important actually. So here Kardamuni was meeting with Swayambhu Manu, and as soon as he spoke few verses, Swayambhu Manu was convinced. If you see, there was actually, what is that? On one hand, Kardamuni was very rich, probably the richest in the universe. On another hand, Swayambhu Manu was the richest, and Kardamuni was very poor. He had no possession at all. And he has the highest profession, highest job, the king of the universe. And Kardamuni had no possession, had no position. And here he is trying to give his daughter, most beautiful daughter, to just a sage. Do you think it is practically possible in the material world? It's not. Nobody. If you have $10 million, you want to give your daughter to somebody who has $20 million. Or if you have all bachelors, you want to give to somebody who has masters. If you have masters, you want to give your daughter to somebody who has PhD. But you have PhD and you don't want to give your daughter to somebody who has not opened the books. I've seen so many material examples. Even at this story, long ago it happened. Even today, when a devotee, after serving Krishna for some time, if he has some material aspirations, Krishna immediately fulfills. If it is money, Krishna fulfills. If anything you have, you want to achieve in the material world, Krishna says no problem. One day, one devotee came to me and said, I'm getting married. Okay. And he said, I have not even finished my high school, but I'm getting married to this lady who has done her PhD. So really amazing. So that's why what is that rather than trying for anything else, one should keep pure devotional service as the aspiration. It's very important. Because in this material world, everything comes with a package. There is no pure pleasure in the material world. Every pleasure is associated with definitely pain, some pain. Usually this pain is more than the pleasure. Why should we read Bhagavatam regularly, every day? It will break the faith on the material world. Bhagavatam will break your faith on the material world. Even Indra, who is actually respected very highly, has to go through so many troubles just to retain his position. And if you read Prahlad Maharaj's story, Hiranyakasipu, who has conquered the entire universe, and except the three Gunavataras of Krishna, Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, Narada Muni says we all would worship Hiranyakasipu, doing arati to Hiranyakasipu. His body was literally, when Brahma came and sprinkled water on his body, it became like rock hard. There visibly no disease and death, no old age. Death is also not visible. I have a question for all of you. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu is very happy? If you say Hiranyakasipu is not happy, whoever says that, they'll join full time today. If you say Hiranyakasipu is very happy, then you'll go outside and you try to follow the footsteps of Hiranyakasipu. If somebody says Hiranyakasipu is not happy, it means you are telling American president is not happy, Indian prime minister is not happy, nobody in this world is happy. Because even if you have billions, at the age of 50, your body starts giving trouble. Even if you want to eat, you cannot eat. Even if you want to enjoy anything, what is our enjoyment in the material world? Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. There is nothing other than that. But after a certain time, body starts giving trouble. But Hiranyakasipu, these are not visible. Body is rock hard and death is not visible at all. There is no old age, no disease. How many of you think Hiranyakasipu was happy? Sure he is not happy? Okay, Gopal Champu. I think he is a little bit happy. Sayittah nirjita kakub ekarad vishayan priyan yatopadoshan bunjano natriptya ajitendriya. This line, one has to meditate 10 times every day. Though he has attained which is practically impossible to attain, ekarad vishayan priyan, he kept the sense objects very dear to his senses. and is trying to enjoy them. For that reason, natruptiya, there is no satisfaction. Why? He may be conquering with his weapons, but his senses remained uncontrolled, ajitendriya. In other words, even if you conquer the entire universe, and even if people would worship you left and right, as long as you keep your senses uncontrolled, your mind and senses uncontrolled, they will make you unhappy. And you present this and tell somebody to do research on this, probably they'll prove it. But universities exactly tell opposite of this. Today's, whatever is the chaos in the society is because of the wrong education. The universities are telling, professors are telling, make money, you'll be happy. Professor is miserable. But he's telling you make money, you'll be happy. Can you believe this? So actually, one of the reasons society is like this is because of the education. You are this body, you are this eyes, and you are the mind, you are everything. Only if you attain money, you'll be very happy. If you do research and use your mind to invent something new, you'll be happy. What is that? So, Srila Prabhupada came to America, this world is dark because it's a place of cheaters and cheated. Prabhupada came and he has created revolution actually. So coming back to today's verse, what is Bhagavatam emphasizing? Association. If you have the association of a devotee, who is a devotee? A person wearing saffron? A person wearing tilak? A person wearing kantimala? A person wearing jean pant? Who is a devotee? Devotee is not external dress. Third canto Śrimad Bhāgavatam, same. Kapila Muni gives the description and qualities of a devotee. Titiksha, person who is tolerant. Do we have tolerance? Yes. Then if you have you are wearing you may be wearing a jean pant, you may be CEO, you're a devotee. But you are living in the temple, wearing saffron, putting a 2-inch tilak, but we cannot tolerate, you're not a devotee. As simple as that. Then you say, look, then what are you talking? I'm in the temple. Then you say, you are trying to become a devotee. Titikshava karunika suhrada sarvadehina ajata shatravasanta sadhavasada bhushana. Titiksha, tolerance, karuna, merciful to all the living entities. Suhrada sarvadehinam, you are friend of all the living entities. Ajata Shatru, no enemies. Santa, peaceful like ocean. Sadhava, he knew the essence of scriptures. Sadhu Bhushana, these are the jewels. These are the pearls sadhu wears. If you have these qualities, yes, you are a sadhu. Even if you may be working in a stock exchange. If not, somebody comes to the temple with some other motives, they are not. But if they are sincere, they're trying to become a devotee, trying to cultivate these qualities, yes, eventually they'll become a pure devotee. What is taking association? Rubbing the shoulder? One time I went to Cincinnati and they said, there is another organization, their guru passed away, so nowadays they're coming to ISKCON, can you come and give the class there? Fine. I went to, this is like probably 10 years ago, I went to give the class. There were 20-25 people. As soon as they saw me, I sat like this, they all came. They sat this much close. They were sitting this much close. I said, they were all ladies, a little elderly. And if I do like this, I'll touch their shoulder. And somebody was sitting here. What is this? Said, our Guru said, when a saintly person comes, you should sit as close as possible. And association means stay as close as possible. Then he will rub his Shakti, his Bhakti to you. I said, look, there is some problem here. I don't think this is what taking association is all about. What is taking association? I have a question for all of you. What is taking association? Huh? Hearing and serving. You're like, you hit the direct point. Hearing and serving, simply said. Hearing and serving, no problem. Even Nardmuni is Nardmuni. Nardmuni dāsa is not. He said hearing and serving, straight. Like you're in the office, what is taking association? Like in the college, one guy, very charismatic, when he comes, he studies very well. All the girls go around him, boys go around him. He doesn't even look at you, doesn't even talk to you. But I want to be like that. Means you are taking his association. Though you have not even spoken to him one time. Or in the office, you see performers. Managers look for them. Hey, production problem. Where is Mr. John? Where is Mr. Peter? He's the man, the machine. And why they are not calling my name? So you want to be like Peter. You want to be like John, who is a performer. Even though that guy is in a different team, you don't even talk to him. Hang on. You are taking his association. Hari bol. Humne fikri. But a next desk, or a devotee in the next room, or devotee sleeping next to your bed. Difficult. I cannot, the way he chants, the way he eats, the way he does things, I can't bear, I can't tolerate. Even if he's a pure devotee, sadhu with all the qualities, he is sleeping next to your bed, you are not taking his association. You're understanding or not? Association means you should be inspired by that person, willing to listen from him, apply, and improve your life. That's what taking association is all about. And Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada mentions this. Narendra Mullik, his friend. Prabhupada said, in my group, I had this, behavior, charismatic behavior. Whenever my friends liked something, they would come to me and say whether I would authorize that or not. When Abhay Babu authorizes it, it is right. So Narendra Mullik came and said, we should go and see this sadhu. I told him, no, these are all bogus. Abhay Babu, this sadhu is not like that, he is different. Actually, that, what is that? Lakshmikant Banerjee Lane. And the temple, Gaudimat. Prabhupada was standing in front of that temple. He said, no, I don't want to go inside. Bagh Bazar Gaudimat, actually. It is Bagh Bazar Gaudimat. Prabhupada said, I don't want to come. Please, this sadhu is different. So Prabhupada was Gandhian, trying to follow, principles of Gandhi, and he wanted India to become independent from the hands of British. So Prabhupada, with great, because of his force, his friend's force, Prabhupada finally went upstairs, and as he was about to sit down, and Saraswati Thakur, he said, you young Indian boys, why don't you preach the message of Lord Chaitanya all over the world? Prabhupada said, with great difficulty we came here, and this gentleman is giving us instruction. Prabhupada became upset and said, who will listen the message of Lord Chaitanya when India is under the control of British? First, India should become independent. Saraswati Thakur, in his demeanor, he said, Politics means donkeys will go and horses will come. World has never changed. Politics has never changed the world. Krishna consciousness is an emergency. People are dying without Krishna. I mean, sometimes we think a newcomer comes, we try to speak very softly actually. Because sometimes they may leave. But Saraswati Thakur, the power of purity is power of purity. He said that. Prabhupada said, wow, see that it has penetrated the heart of Srila Prabhupada. That's why Prabhupada says, purity is the force, books are the basis, utility is the principle, time is the essence. What is preaching? Preaching means engaging people in Krishna service. Engaging people in Krishna service, not downloading the information. It is a transformation. It is not downloading the information, but it is transformation. Arivol, I'll do it. I'll give my life to Krishna. Prabhupada told Bhakticharya Swami, every lifetime you are married, every lifetime you have kids, every lifetime you have parents. What we don't have is Krishna. Give one lifetime to Krishna, one lifetime to serving Krishna. Bhakticharya Swami was convinced. Purity is the force. So that is, if you have, what is that? Prasangam ajaram pasamatmano kavyobhiti sayeva sadhya sukrita moksha dvaram apavrutam. We are stuck in this material world because of our attachments. Pasam. So we are stuck in this material world, birth after birth, because of the attachments. I love my mother, I love my father, I love my job, I love my girlfriend, I love my boyfriend, I love. What is love? Nothing but attachment to the matter, that's it. And that will bring us to the next life, next life. Prabhupada says a person who is addicted to smoking, because after some time nicotine levels go down, he starts looking, where is bidi, where is cigarette, where is bidi, where is cigarette. If you have that type of longing for a sadhu, where is that devotee, where is this devotee, where is Narad Muni, where is Gopal Champu, where is, what is that, Arjuna Prabhu, where is, if you have that longing, moksha dvaram apavrutam, avrutam means closed, apavrutam means open. The doors for liberation, they are open when you have that type of attachment for a sadhu. Where is my cigarette, like that, where is the devotee? But we say, where is my gulab jamun, where is rasgulla? We don't say, where is the devotee? That is our problem. What is our problem? By the power of Maya, whatever is very important, we find it useless. Whatever is very, useless, we find it very important. Hare Krishna. So, what is that? Prabhupada says actually, one day Prabhupada cries in his Vyasa Puja. My Guru Maharaj saved me. Prabhupada became actually, he starts crying on this Vyasa Puja. So at the age of 22, he met Saraswati Thakur, and 33 he got initiated. But a busy businessman, 6 children, Prayagraj was artistic. So he was trying to fund Saraswati Thakur program, but Saraswati Thakur had different plan for his disciple. One day, he comes in his dream and says, Abhay Babu, take sannyas. Me, sannyas? Children are not married yet. Abhay Babu, take sannyas. So, if we have the association of 1/11th of a sadhu, the doors for liberation, they are open. Lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. Sadhu sangha, sarva sastra hoy. Lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoy. 1/11th of a second of association of a sadhu. One day, Ratnakar was a dacoit. He was a highway robber. He came across Narad Muni. To cut the story short, the dacoit became Valmiki by the association of Narada Muni. One day, this Mrugari hunter, happened to meet Narada Muni again. Mrugari hunter became a devotee. Mother Malti told me 3 times Prabhupada told her, put a chair here, Narada Muni is here. One day Yamuna Mataji was singing Hare Krishna mantra in her mic. Suddenly Prabhupada started singing in his mic, Narada Muni Bajaya Vina Radhika Ramana Name. She turned like this, Prabhupada, you want me to stop? Because 2 persons cannot sing in 2 mics. Prabhupada said, you continue. Hare Krishna mantra. I will sing Narada Muni Bajaya. So last week I was in LA temple to give class. They said, here Prabhupada said, Narada Muni came here, put a Vyasasana. So Narada Muni preached to Mrugari and the Ratnakar and transformed them into devotees. But Narada Muni, when he saw all these, hippies and drug addicts becoming devotees in huge numbers, he was very happy. He was very, very happy. So just probably 1 or 2 weeks, at least a month before Ayandar Prabhu left, Ayandar Prabhu had a dream. Radha and Krishna came and they were talking to Narada Muni. Why your disciple is, in our parampara, Narada Muni is a guru. Why is your disciple? He sings so well, stuck in the material world. This is a temporary place. Nobody stays here permanently. He should not stay there. Narada Muni said, I agree with you. Because everything in this world is temporary. Yes, he should stay here, not there. Martya Loka, planet of birth and death. But he sings so well. Narada Muni said, yes, my disciple sings very well. And Ayandar Prabhu shared this story actually. So, what is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment. If there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person, Hare Krishna. Saintly person means I already gave the definition. Ajata titikshava karunaka suhrada sarvadihina ajata stira santa sadhava sadhabhushana. If we need to cultivate to possess those qualities, that way people become inspired to take our association. So when we go outside, we try to give our association and we don't take their association. Means we are not inspired by them, outsiders, materialists. But we pray to Srila Prabhupada, we pray to Radha Govinda Dev, to Gauranitai, Giriraj, please, bless me so that I can do some service to your lotus feet. Why Krishna plays on the flute? Gopis actually in 10th canto they speak of this. You are, you occupy, sometimes you occupy the waist of Krishna, sometimes you occupy the lips of Krishna, that adharamrutam, what we want to get, you get it. And he uses you as an instrument and, that sound makes us mad. Why flute has occupied that type of position? Why is Krishna using flute as an instrument to attract all the living entities? Ramate Yamuna Pulinavane. So it's standing on the threefold bending form. When Krishna plays on the 5th note, I'm standing threefold bending form on the bank of Yamuna, sand dunes of Yamuna. He plays. Krishna has so many flutes, but this flute is Vamsi, 5 inches. Small flute. And he plays on that flute. When he plays on that flute, it's a call of love. All the deers, the does, the bucks, and birds, they all become stunned. being bathed in that love of Krishna's call. And this flute vibration, it pervades the entire, surrounding area of Yamuna, river Yamuna. And finally it enters Vraj. Some gopis are cooking, and some gopis are actually combing the hair of their children. Some gopis are decorating themselves. And the cow is, giving milk to calf. But when they hear that transcendental vibration, when the cow hears that vibration, flute vibration, cow cannot, she becomes so stunned, she starts releasing unlimited amounts of milk. But the calf, who is also relishing this vibration, calf cannot drink that milk. The milk starts overflowing from the jars. When the fire hears that sound, fire starts going here and there. When Yamuna hears that song, Yamuna doesn't know whether she has to flow down or upstream. Yamuna starts flowing upstream. So Krishna creates this type of, and the gopis, if the nail is rusty, it cannot be attracted to the magnet. But if it is a pure nail, magnet attracts. Like this gopis, they become mad, they want to run. And they want to, take darshan of Krishna because they are so pure at heart. Why flute has got that type of position in Krishna's pastimes? Flute doesn't have anything on its own. One time Dinabandhu Prabhu was explaining, as soon as flute is born, it's nothing but just a bamboo stick, But what austerities flute went through so that it can occupy Krishna's waist and sometimes the lips. As soon as the flute is born, first somebody would come and cut off the legs and separate the flute from the mother and take the flute away. And not only that, the blacksmith starts putting holes. Painful. And if you look like this in the flute is shallow. Flute doesn't own anything in this world. Flute has nothing from this, flute has nothing. Because flute doesn't have any attachment or no ahankar, no mamakar. No attachment, no false ego. And it is shallow. Flute doesn't have anything on its own. Krishna says, fine, you don't have anything, so let me use you as my instrument to convey the call of love. But if our heart is filled with all these things, attachments and false ego and impurities, then Krishna, even if he tries to play on the flute, some other sound will come. ISKCON is a river, pure river. And we all devotees, we join this river as a tributaries. I don't know how many have been to Badrinath. As a bus climbs these Himalayan mountains, in one side Alkananda comes, this side Bhagirathi comes. One river is white in color, another river is black in color. They together meet at Devaprayaga. For at least a mile you can see from the bus. White river is going, black river is going like that. But then finally they mix. Why I'm telling this is, ISKCON is such a, Srila Prabhupada created this, such a pure river, transcendental river, free from three modes. We all join with our conditioning. We join with our conditioning, with our impurities, our lust, our greed, our envy, our arrogance. But Prabhupada says, no problem, continue because you are trying. Srila Prabhupada is magnanimous. So, because you are trying, Prabhupada is trying to use us with all our conditioning. For that reason, we should be grateful to Prabhupada. In order to get the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, two things we should do. We should not be lazy. Even if we may failure, throw the stone. Try. One should not be lazy. One should not be lethargic. And one should not be complacent. I chant my 16 rounds. As soon as 16 rounds over, I don't want to see the bead back till tomorrow. Hey, somebody gives you gulab jamun, will you say only one gulab jamun? Third one is also okay. We should not be like that. So you can become very soon liberated from three modes. Lord Chaitanya, what is that? Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly personalities. So Lord Chaitanya, what is that? Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarvasiddha. Tandera charana sevi bhakta sanivas. Bhakti nasta, what is that? Narottam Thakur says. Stay in the association of devotees. Janama janama se ei abhilash. What is my desire? Birth after birth, I want to stay in the association of devotees and serve devotees. Even though we have so many impurities, if this one thing, I want to serve devotees, Krishna will say, all right, continue here. I am there to purify. Lord Chaitanya says, continue here, I will purify you. I will use you as the instrument. Otherwise, Maya is so powerful. Just one side kick of Maya, we lose everything and we go outside, and for us to come back, maybe we'll come back at the end of the old age, or we may not come back. So one day we stayed in the temple, we should be grateful to Srila Prabhupada, the Gaur Nitai, Radha Govinda Dev, Giriraj, and Damodar, all the devotees, Tulsi Maharani and all the devotees. Because without their sanction, we cannot even stay. We cannot chant one extra mantra. We cannot stay extra one day. But of course, devotees living outside, they are also devotees, because they are practicing it. Their homes are actually extension of this temple anyway. But the moral of the story is stay Krishna conscious. If we consciously try to purify ourselves, Krishna will definitely one day, or today or tomorrow, will use us as he uses his flute. Especially Lord Chaitanya is magnanimous. He knew very well we cannot surrender. He says, chant Hare Krishna, eat prasad. Lord Chaitanya says you'll be protected. That's what I can tell. If I have spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as a humble servant. But very grateful for your patient audience. Any question or comment?
Qualities come automatically, like aging. These good qualities come automatically. Sometimes he says like that. Also, sometimes he says it's a cultivation. You have to cultivate these good qualities. So I understand automatic means it just happens. Versus cultivation means there's something better. So you can experience as you have these good qualities now. Can you share with us how to actually bring them about? Tolerance, humility. They just come automatically, or we have to have conscious cultivation as well?
When we consciously cultivate, actually we have to please Krishna. When Krishna is pleased, then these qualities will manifest. Guru or Krishna. All the demons that Balramji killed are the bad qualities that are there in our heart. When Guru is pleased, those bad qualities will go away. All the bad qualities, all the demons Krishna killed are those bad qualities. When Guru is pleased with our behavior visibly, and then Krishna is pleased with our behavior, then only Krishna will remove those impurities from our heart. So, when we are trying ourselves, that's why there's the word sincerity. Even though with all the impurities we have, if we sincerely try, Vaidhi Bhakti means, I don't want to go to Mangalarti, but we should come. I don't want to do this service, but I should do it. I don't want to be humble, but we should try to be humble. Honestly speaking, one time I used to live in Vrindavan. Sometimes, because of the conditioning, that's why I said ISKCON is a river, and you are joining with your conditioning. Sometimes we quarrel with devotees, and immediately we would go and say, "Hey, Prabhu, please forgive me, please forgive me." We would ask forgiveness because you'll be kicked out of the temple. I've seen when two devotees go through the quarrel, both will have spiritual problems. If two devotees they quarrel, both devotees go through they will experience spiritual problems. They'll experience spiritual difficulties. I've seen this again and again and again. So when we saw that, because of the conditioning, we may become angry and say, "Prabhuji, please forgive me, please, please forgive me, please forgive me." Rather than judging, our ego is there to tell you you're right. So rather than doing that, we would ask for forgiveness immediately. Other devotee also, "Oh, Prabhu, please forgive me." So, but if you stay under the shore of Krishna consciousness, eventually you'll become purified. Because Krishna consciousness has that power. The bhakti has that power. So then based on your prayers, based on whatever is good for you, and Guru and Krishna will purify you, and these qualities will manifest. What type of quality, or sometimes what is good for your preaching, which quality is needed? What is your prayer? What is your aspiration? If this quality is given, how will you use it? In Krishna service or in Maya service? So all these parameters put together, that quality will manifest in you. That is my experience. Maybe Maharaj will give a better answer actually. Maharaj is the personification of humility and Maharaj, you want to add anything to this?
Well, both things are said that qualities come automatically, and yet we can cultivate them. If we don't cultivate them separately, but we just engage in devotional service, the fact that Krishna consciousness is purifying us will create those good qualities. However, if we also think about trying to cultivate them, I believe it will happen quicker.
Mm.
We will be able to develop good qualities more rapidly, try to understand what they are, and try consciously to develop them. But even if we don't, they will still
Eventually.
naturally evolve, because that's the nature of Krishna consciousness. When the heart is right, one automatically has all the good qualities of demigod, Devarshi, Bhutan. Actually, that's not.
Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati kinchit. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati kinchit.
Hare Krishna, thanks for the excellent class. I was wondering about tolerance, inspiration, and how we should, or I guess I should say, do we take inspiration from every individual that's trying to be Krishna conscious? Or do we have to be selective?
Nice question. Thank you. As far as my knowledge goes, when we see somebody better than us, this Prabhu, he has this quality, I should acquire that quality, So, this Prabhu is very humble, I should learn from him. This Prabhu is, very tolerant, I should learn from him. So likewise, when we see those qualities that we don't have and others possess, then we should aspire that type of thing. So one time somebody asked, what is his name? The singer, our Sri Prahlad Prabhu. Somebody asked Sri Prahlad Prabhu, similar thing. Can we take everyone's personal remnants? He said no. you're very careful, you know. So, because you don't take everyone's remarks. Likewise, you also see, okay, this devotee is exceptionally wonderful. You cannot see that overnight. Over a period of time, you'll understand, you know. So, best thing is, when we see somebody is better than us, actually, if we have humility, we see everyone better than us, first of all, you know. But thing is, we should pray to Krishna, pray to Guru and Krishna for the qualities, rather than imitating them. There is a word Anukaran and Anusharan. Anukaran and Anusharan. Anukaran means following, imitating. Anusharan means following. We should not imitate anybody. No, that's wrong. Do you know Gaur Gopal Prabhu? The famous internet fame? He said, for 10 years I imitated one senior brahmachari. I imitated. He tried to, instead of acquiring the qualities, what we do, we try to imitate them, especially if they are very successful. Then he realized, I cannot imitate. I've been trying to imitate him past 10 years. And I realized I'm losing my originality. He told me it took another 5 years to undo that. Then he said, I wanted to be, then he was on his own. And guess what? Today he has created a revolution actually, at least in the area he's preaching. So we should not imitate anybody. Gaur Gopal. These are his words. He's sitting here, he gave class actually a couple of years ago. So we should pray for the qualities to Guru and Krishna. And when we see some devotees, we should be inspired by their behavior, but we should not imitate them actually. Sometimes, some devotees, what they do, they try to imitate the Guru. The way Guru walks, the Guru speaks. That's not so good. Proper class is there on that. We should try to follow. Follow means, try to acquire those qualities they cultivate rather than skills. How they speak and how they impress others. That will not take us far. So we should pray for the qualities actually. If we serve them, suppose you are inspired by a person A, serve him. Then what happens is they'll give the mercy. So eventually you'll acquire that quality that you're looking for actually.
This question is, I guess, what is true tolerance? Is it being quiet and just accepting what you're told? And I guess it goes further into how do you be straw on the street? What is true tolerance and how do we be the straw on the street?
How do we straw on the street? Maharaj is the best person to answer me. I am also I'm a difficult person, But, honestly speaking, third verse of Sikshastakam, I realized after this many years, I cannot apply in my life. But then again and again, I read. If you want to go from Anardhanivritti to Nishta, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says, you have to go through this verse, then only you'll attain Nishta. Really, I'm trying to somehow, jump over this verse and do everything. But everywhere it's telling this verse is coming. I said, all right, I'll apply one day a week, one day a year in my life. Trunadapi sunichena. So then, then it all starts with a desire. I want to be servant of servant. At least once a year, Nityananda Prabhu appearance day, this day I'll do that. Other days I cannot do. So likewise, it all starts with a desire. Because when somebody is telling you cannot go to Nishta without this, all right, then without Nishta, no Ruchi, no Asakti, Bhava, then take birth out of birth. Why not I try to be humble today? Otherwise, you may be scholarly, and you may be giving so many classes, and people are very inspired by you, but you are still at Anadhanivritti. What is the use? Janma Sarda Kuri Karo. You purify yourself and you help others. Then I said, all right, then I'll try to apply. It all starts with a desire. Then what is that? What is tolerance? what is that? Actually, if you really analyze Trunadapi Sunichana, what is the problem? Why we cannot apply Trunadapi Sunichana is because of our ego. I am the doer mentality. Egos are very high. Today's material education inflates your ego. Satsuru Maharaj says, if at all anybody makes any tangible progress, it happens when they join the first year of Krishna consciousness. Because you don't know anything. Oh, this is a pure devotee. Wow, Prasad is ecstatic. Krishna is really standing there. But over a period of time, we develop familiarity. Everyone is not a pure devotee. Now they are not giving chapatis. So then we start judging actually. So, but if we remain the rest of the life the way we were in the first 2 years of Krishna consciousness, we make a lot of progress. So, what is that? Krishna will give you intelligence, how to be tolerant in different situations. Arjuna was fighting battle. That is his humility. What is Arjuna's humility? Executing the instructions of Krishna and killing the people who are not following. So we should pray to become a perfect instrument in the hands of Guru and Krishna. Then what we can do with that humility, Krishna guides from within. And that also happens more and more when a heart becomes pure and pure, where our intelligence is sharpened. With that we are able to subdue our mind. Then we act according to the situation. Otherwise what happens, sometimes somebody will abuse you again and again, and then you realize, they abused me, and you become angry. So application of the humility and tolerance, with the sharpened intelligence we'll be able to apply properly. But of course, guiding principle is there. Dāsa and dāsa. Trunadapi Sunichana works wonders. Nobody can abuse us. Nobody abuses anyway. So, servant of servant works. I want Maharaj to speak on this. Give the mic to me.
You started out, I think, with the important verse that we should follow and not imitate. Follow usually means to accept the instructions of someone, whereas imitation means you try to do what they do, and you might not be on a level to be able to imitate what they do. And of course, if there's some confusion, we should understand through Shastra whether an example is proper. There's nothing wrong with trying to emulate good qualities of devotees, provided we know what we're doing. We're not trying to bite off more than we can chew, or we're trying to imitate things that are not possible, like the Goswamis eating 2 pats of butter every other day. We can't quite manage that. But we can certainly have good qualities. Another thing that's interesting, and I think it's important, is that if you just appreciate the good qualities of others, you will start to develop them, even if you don't have them yourself. And the opposite thing is true. That if you find fault in others, you will start to develop those very same faults. So it is important to, there's nothing wrong with understanding what's a good example or what's a bad example. That's nice and proper deliberation. But if we focus continually on the good qualities of others, we will start to develop those good qualities. And if we focus continually on the bad qualities of others, we will develop bad qualities. And this is why it's so dangerous to be a manager in this company. Because as a manager, you have to understand people's bad qualities and deal with them all the time. So that is why it's very
Thank you. Its time is done. Okay. Grandhara Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Individually. If I have spoken anything wrong, please do excuse me as a humble servant, but very grateful for your patient audience. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And the good Vaishnava ki.